Which part of America has the highest per capita rate of positive COVID-19 tests in the country? It's not New York or even Los Angeles or Chicago. It's the Navajo Nation, the country's largest Native American reservation. There are more than 4,000 cases and more than 150 deaths there. NBC News reporter Vaughn Hillyard joining me now from Navajo County, Arizona. And Vaughn, why is there such a high infection rate on the reservation?
Allison, if I could just kind of set everybody up here, because I think there's a good number of folks that have never driven through the Navajo Nation before. You can see its vastness behind me. To give you an idea, it is larger. The Navajo Nation is larger in land size than 10 U.S. states. There are 160,000 folks spread out across the Navajo Nation here. And you ask that question, why is there such a high rate of infection? Well, look at a lot of these more urban communities that do exist in the nation. We were spent yesterday over in CHINLE, which has about 5,000 folks more in that sort of inner city core. But then you have folks for miles. You know, they come in from hours, 2 hours away into CHINLE. There's one grocery store, one Bash's'. We're in Kayenta right now. The same situation, one Bash's'. And so when folks are coming in to one urban core, you also have the reality that a lot of folks live in multi-generational homes here. So you have 3 or even 4 generations living in one home space together here. But the other issue that we need to talk about, Allison, is the fact that history has denied folks on the reservation proper access to water, proper access to electricity, proper access to broadband. You are dealing with, Allison, the reality that COVID has perhaps exposed a great part of this country to the realities that exist here. 40 to 80% of folks, when you talk to the Navajos, say that folks here live without water, without running water, Allison. That is no plumbing. You also have about half of the population without electricity. You have another 40, 50% without internet. So, you know, while others around the country can tell their kids to Zoom in with their teachers, that's not happening here. You know, you can say, go wash your hands, Allison. That's a little harder around here to do. You know, we are dealing with historical disparities that right now, it's no surprise that, you know, the highest COVID positive rate is right here on the Navajo Nation. Just come and take a drive through here. I would encourage all others to. You know, I was talking with a young woman yesterday. She said she'd love to see some folks in Washington just try to come and spend a couple days here, live here, and just see what life is like, and to at least better understand what folks here on the nation are going through.
Vaughn, you know, they are things that we so take for granted. We think it's so simple to just wash our hands frequently, or like you said, to have the kids sit on the iPad and take a class from home. You really realize what a privilege that is, that so many people do not have that access. With such a high infection rate there, I would imagine nearly everyone has been impacted by the coronavirus in some way. What are the members of the Navajo Nation telling you?
These are tight-knit communities, Allison, that go back generations. I just want to play part of an interview just a few moments ago with the mother and sister of Valentina BLACKHORSE, 28 years old. She has a 1.5-year-old son named Poet. She lost her life. Take a listen to part of our interview with her mother and her sister.
She used to tell us, Mom and Dad, be careful. Wear your mask, wear your gloves. This virus is awful, is what she used to tell us. Don't go to public where a lot of people are, don't go there.
In a way, I am angry because, you know, I see some of the younger generation making fun of it, making fun of people that passed on or the virus. And that angers me.
Allison, you just heard Valentina, who passed away, took this seriously, urging her mother to not go to the grocery store, urging her mother to wear a mask and gloves. And the reality is that, you know, around the rest of the country, business may be opening, but the reality at the same time here is that in communities like this, they are continuing to go through this, and the exposure is still real. and the realities are still real in communities like this, Allison.
Vaughn, I imagine the list of needs there is pretty long right now, but what is their biggest need? What would help Navajo Nation most right now?
Resources, attention, acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that this is more than COVID.
Yeah.
This is more than a pandemic that is impacting this community. You know, you look around this community, there may be no more resilient population in American history. I should say, in fact, there is no more resilient population than the Native American community in the U.S. mainland. We're going around here from CHINLE to Kayenta. You see folks, locals, Navajos that are organizing together, that are going and building water stations. I was talking with, one woman, Cherish, who was delivering out about an hour outside of town a hand washing station to her old elementary school bus driver. Well, guess who built that hand washing station? Her husband, Anthony. You've also then got CHARMAINE TSOSIE, who helped start up this local organization in CHINLE called CHINLE Planting Hope with a couple other local women. And we were out with them yesterday as they were going and delivering flour and cornmeal and more other non-perishable items and paper products and sanitizer to the elders, because they're encouraging these elders, don't come into town, stay at home. They are going out and mobilizing. You also have Johns Hopkins Center for American Indian Health, which has had a footprint here for more than 40 years. They have more than 24 folks on the ground across the nation. They are also helping organize. You have several of these grassroots organizations. The Arizona National Guard has come in here to help. Doctors Without Borders. And so, yes, luckily there is attention being paid here. But again, where a lot of the frustration lies among the Navajo community is that it shouldn't take COVID-19 to draw attention to the disparities that exist here. And yes, it should be no surprise that they have the highest infection rate. Allison, actually, could we play that sound real fast? I wanted to give CHARMAINE a soundbite real fast if we could.
Instead of being afraid, I got angry. I got angry at it, this virus. You're not going to take any more of my people. You are not allowed here. And I'm going to go out there and serve my people. I'm going to help them and keep them home so they don't have to get out in the community and become vulnerable to this virus.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.